Moish the beetle stayed out of people's way. His presence bothered no one. He had mastered the art of rendering himself insignificant, invisible.
The trucks. The trucks headed toward the forest. There, everybody was ordered to get out. They were forced to dig huge trenches. When they had finished their work, the men from the Gestapo began theirs. Without passion or haste, they shot their prisoners, who were forced to approach the trench one by one and offer their necks. Infants were tossed into the air and used as targets for the machine guns.
How had he, Moish the beetle, been able to escape? By a miracle. He was wounded in the leg and left for dead. Day after day, night after night, he went from one Jewish house to the next, telling a story, and that of Malka, the young girl who lay dying for 3 days, and that of Toby, the tailor who begged to die before his sons were killed.
Jews, listen to me! That's all I ask of you. No money, no pity, just listen to me.
Even I did not believe him. I often sat with him after services and listened to his tales, trying to understand his grief, but all I felt was pity.
Why do you want people to believe you so much?
You don't understand. Look, Jews, look at the fire, look at the flame.
Man on the left, woman on the right.
In a fraction of a second, I could see my mother, my sisters, move to the right. Mother was stroking my sister's blonde hair, as if to protect her, and I walked on with my father, with the men. I didn't know that this was the moment in time and the place where I was leaving my mother in Sapporo forever. Not far from us, flames, huge flames were rising from a ditch. Something was being burned there. A truck drew close and unloaded its hold. Small children. Yes, I did see this with my own eyes. 2 steps from the pit, we were ordered to turn left and herded into barracks. I squeezed my father's hand. He said,
Do you remember Mrs. Schachter in the train?
"Never shall I forget that night, the first night in camp, that turned my life into one long night, 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the small faces of the children whose bodies I saw transformed into smoke under a silent sky. Never shall I forget those flames that consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget the nocturnal silence that deprived me of all eternity of the desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments that murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to ashes. Never shall I forget those things. even were I condemned to live as long as God Himself. Never. I, the former mystic, was thinking, yes, man is stronger, greater than God. I no longer pleaded for anything. I was no longer able to lament. On the contrary, I felt very strong. I was the accuser, God the accused. Yom Kippur. I did not fast. First of all, to please my father, who had forbidden me to do so. And then there was no longer any reason for me to fast. I no longer accepted God's silence. As I swallowed my ration of soup, I turned that act into a symbol of rebellion, of protest against Him. And I nibbled on my crust of bread. Deep inside me, I felt a great void opening.
So, did you pass?
Yes, and you?
Also.
Form ranks!
What is happening?
Me too, me too. They told me to stay in the camp.
What are we going to do?
It is not certain yet. There's still a chance. Today they will do another selection, a decisive one. Uh, Take this knife. I won't need it anymore. You may find it useful. Also, take this spoon. Don't sell it. Quickly, go ahead with what I'm giving you.
Don't talk like that, Father. I don't want you to say such thing. Keep the spoon and the knife. You will need them as much as I will. See each other tonight after work.
I am asking you. Take it. Do as I ask you, my son. Time is running out. Do as your father asks you.
Around the middle of January, my foot began to swell from the cold. I could not stand on it. I went to the infirmary. The doctor had decided to operate and there could be no discussion. In fact, I was rather glad that the decision had been his.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, Father, what do we do? Let's be evacuated with the others.
You think you'll be able to walk?
Yes, I think so.
Let's hope we won't regret it, Alistair.
Block 57, forward, march! Faster, you filthy dogs!
You want me to do it? Come, Father, let's go back to the shed. Come, Father, it's better there. You'll be able to lie down. We'll take turns. I'll watch over you, and you'll watch over me. We won't let each other fall asleep. We'll look after each other. You first, Father. Sleep.
Don't worry, son. Go to sleep. I'll watch over you. My son. Water. I'm burning up. my inside. Elixir. Water. Elixir.
Free, at last. Our first act as free men was to throw ourselves onto the provisions. That's all we thought about. No thought of revenge or of parents, only of bread. 3 days after the liberation of
Buchenwald.
I became very ill, some form of poisoning. I was transferred to a hospital and spent 2 weeks between life and death. One day, when I was able to get up, I decided to look at myself in the mirror on the opposite wall. I had not seen myself since the ghetto. From the depths of the mirror, a corpse was contemplating me. The look in his eyes as he gazed at me has never left me.